This is something that I wrote about my experiences with the twin flame and coming home to myself. When I first found information about twin flames online, everything kind of clicked. I finally understood why I felt the way that I did, why what I was feeling and seeing was so different from anything I'd ever known. It was nothing like I could describe or make sense of. But then you start to see the terrible things that people say about this journey online, and the judgment that you couldn't possibly be on this journey, the endless rules and regulations that you're just meant to follow, and suddenly I just hated it. I didn't want that journey, and so I ran. I thought I'd turned it off, and I'd found divine in other people, places, and things, and it gave me a very short-lived sense of relief, but it didn't last. What did last was learning to listen to myself. I stopped consuming information online. I avoid it at all costs now. My truth isn't about them, and it isn't always going to match theirs. And their noise was really clouding my own experience. But now I've come home to myself. Just last night, I did what I always do when I feel him, and I don't know if he needs me energetically, or if it's just me longing for him without admitting it to myself. I laid down, I closed my eyes, and I pretended like we were together. I could feel him under my cheek, I could smell him, I could hear him breathing. But it didn't feel aligned the way that it used to, and I realized I was pulling on the past. I was recreating a memory that I've already been living. And I asked myself, how can I move this moment into me? I felt the old need to long and look outside of myself shift, and it moved inside of my chest. All of the hard work I've done to heal has finally anchored itself inside of me. And now I am my own home. I'm learning to live with this new home because I am the beacon. I am the lighthouse. I hope that me just being, shining brightly, can guide him home too. But even if I don't, I know I've already found my way. You see, I love him so deeply. That love is unconditional now. It no longer asks me to sacrifice myself. This love lets me know that he needs to find his own way. But I also know I can leave the light on for him, and if he needs it, or if he decides to use it. But I also know I love myself enough to never lose my way again. You see, I guess I'm lucky. Yes, my twin has left me. Yes, he left me in every lifetime. But I guess I'm lucky because he does leave me alone. There's no endless back and forth. I've only had to endure saying goodbye to him a handful of times. He doesn't come back and find me when he's still unhealed. And while I know it's fear, feeling unworthy, hiding, believing he needs to be better, thinking he needs to offer more, and convincing himself we're better this way, and numbing the thoughts of me into a silence. But this time I found myself, and I did it better than I ever have before. You see, I'm lucky. I know now that his silence was never rejection, it's simply the journey we signed up for, and that's okay, because his journey is sacred too, even in the parts that I must walk alone. I've found love for this journey again. I've found love because I am love. I have come home to myself, and now I get to learn to live with that, a home inside of me. Learning to trust myself saved me. I realized I wasn't waiting on him. I was waiting to come back to myself, and I did. If you are walking this journey too, I hope you remember you are already whole, and you are not lost. The love you are looking for is also not lost. It lives inside of you, and it is waiting to be claimed. I know people say that all the time, and I know how confusing it feels, how far away you might feel from being there. You might even try and fake it. I hope you sit with these words long enough to create your own meaning, and for you to find your own way, away from all this noise.